Welcome back to our live show right here on CBS 6. We certainly enjoy tasting great food and enjoying all of that. This year, we continue to use the Virginia This Morning virtual kitchen. And in this segment, one of our favorite chefs is back with another tasty creation. Take a look.
Our next guest is always whipping up new, delicious culinary creations. Today's signature seafood ramen omelet is on today's Virginia This Morning menu. And we welcome Chef Ausar back to our show. Good to see you again, Chef.
Good to see you as well.
All right, so I said words in there that we don't put with chef. Ramen, noodles. And these are not your college day ramen noodles, are they?
Oh, definitely not, but they're definitely inspired by the college days. When we was in the dorm, I went to Johnson & Wales University in Providence, Rhode Island, and my roommate, who actually has a restaurant as well in New York called Bayview Kitchen, my roommate, Antoine, we used to make ramen noodles and have little ramen competitions. So it's definitely inspired by the early college days.
So if you can make ramen noodles a chef delicious creation, then I say you win automatically right there. So let's get the winning started. How are we going to do this?
Okay, so of course I always say we start with a nice hot pan, and I have here some diced onions. So I'm going to go ahead and throw those diced onions in there. You hear that nice sizzle.
How did you have the pan greased or oiled or anything in there?
Yep, the pan, I had about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some 1620 shrimp that's peeled in the vein with the tail off, like Jess likes them.
All right, you said 1620 shrimp. For those of us who don't prepare shrimp all the time, what's that mean?
Yep, what that means is there's 16 to 20 of these particular shrimp per pound. So that's what the 1620 stands for. So we're going to let these cook. They don't take long at all. So we're going to let them go for maybe 30 to 40 seconds on each side, and then we're going to flip it over. So they don't take long at all. They're cooking up good. I'm going to go ahead and get that flip going now on them, because once they start curling up and you see the color change to that pink color, you know that they're just about ready to be flipped. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add some diced red peppers to this.
So we know olive oil and olive oil and shrimp are pretty quick.
Yeah.
And so
quick.
The two of them together are a quick meal.
Quick meal, yeah. So now I'm gonna add some fresh cracked black pepper and a little cracked sea salt in there. That's done. Okay, so letting that go. And as I said, it's a fairly quick dish. We're already, believe it or not, at the midway point, right where we are now. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little parsley in there just to jazz it up, give it a little bit more color. So right at this stage, I'm gonna go ahead and pull one of these shrimps out and put it to the side, because that one's gonna be like the crown jewel that goes on at the end when we garnish.
So did you pick the prettiest one?
I picked the nice one to go on top. Okay, so now I'm gonna add a little bit of lump crab meat right here. So I'm gonna put some lump crab meat in here. That's beautiful right there. Got some lump crab meat in there. Mix that around. And now we're gonna go ahead and put the ramen. So I have some ramen noodles cooked off here, and you can either use the packet that comes with it or your favorite base of your choice. Now I'm gonna disperse these in here evenly, because think of these as laying a foundation. If you're laying a foundation, it has to be evenly distributed throughout, or it's not gonna support the structure.
So don't put a glob in there. You kind of spread it out.
Don't just put a glob in there, because you have fragile eggs that are gonna have to support that. So keep that in mind. So now I have my eggs that are whipped up here that I'm gonna go ahead and pour evenly over the whole thing. So we got the eggs poured in there. So now I'm going to just
was that?
That was 3 eggs.
We
had 3 eggs in there. You want to whip them up nicely as well, because you want them to be nice and fluffy. And that's going to be like so the ramen noodles is like the foundation, the structure is and the eggs are the insulation that holds it all together. So see, we're dealing with structures and like how we build houses now. All of this stuff ties all together.
Well, when you start building houses, I'm going to move in, because I bet they'll be delicious.
There'll be a bed and breakfast, huh?
And lunch and
Okay,
midnight snack all together. Yeah.
all in one. Yep. So now I'm just pushing the omelet towards the middle and letting the uncooked eggs that are on the top run to the sides, and that's how you are able to cook it or expedite the process. So, and I'm pushing it down, and you gotta, you let this process, happen nice and slowly because you don't want to do it too quickly. You want those eggs to cook nicely to support it because it has a decent amount of weight to it because of the noodles in there. So it's looking just how I want it to look right at this point.
Do the ramen noodles soak up a lot of the juices that are in there?
Yeah, they got the ramen noodles are gonna absorb all that flavor that's within it. So it's gonna be a great balance of flavor. It's gonna be a nice foundation of flavor with that ramen. So now here comes, the moment of truth is where we get to do the nice flip. This will probably be the last time I got to do a tilt. And you see, you want to test your omelet and make sure that it wiggles around. There's nothing sticking.
Yeah.
And then you can do your flip. It's nice and fluffy right here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and flip it now. All right, we got a nice flip.
Do not try this at home unless you've already mastered it. This guy's good at this.
And the cool thing about it is that, if you're at home, let's say, for instance, you're at home and you flip an omelet and it breaks. If you take another little egg and whip it up, it's sort of like a Band-Aid. You can pour it on there and it'll seal it in and fix this part that tore. So don't ever feel like, oh man, I ruined this whole thing because it has a small tear in it. No. That's not the case at all.
There's
you
a
can
trick,
put a nice little Band-Aid. There's a trick for everything. There you go. That's the cheat code for that one right there. Okay, so this egg is cooking up nicely. We got probably maybe 20 more seconds. I'm going to let that go. So let's see what the color looks like on the other side. Color looks beautiful. All right, so we're getting ready to come up to the plating stage of this now. So it looks good. It's nice and firm. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put it on the plate.
Oh, wow.
Fold that over beautifully like that.
Man.
And then what I'll do at this point right here is that shrimp that we had sitting to the side. I have some more of the lump crab. I'm just going to turn the fire back on. I'm just going to dump it in there just to give it a little warmth. I'm going to take a little bit of lemon, squeeze it on there, crack of the black pepper, crack of the salt, little parsley, and that's all the heat we needed for that.
And we're down to 60 seconds.
Yeah, we'll be done in 60 seconds. Going in 60 seconds like the movie. Okay, we got the shrimp on top. So I'm going to go ahead now and hit it with a little bit of Make It Rain, some shaved Parmesan cheese. That's on there. Oh, and I have here some sriracha aioli.
Yeah, baby.
Sriracha aioli. We're going to drizzle that over the top. And I have some hollandaise sauce here that we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with. So we got some nice contrast to the colors, and we're going to finish it off with some chives. And just to complement those ramen noodles, a little bit of chow mein noodles. And we're done.
They don't call him the kitchen magician for nothing, folks.
And here we have it.
Oh, don't get that any closer to the camera. I'm going to climb through. Look at that. Wow. Ausar, you are something special, man. We always appreciate you spending a little time with us. We learned so much, and now we're all starving to death. Thank you again, sir, for all you do for us and showing us these great techniques. And for those of you who never thought ramen noodles could be gourmet, now you know. If you got somebody like Chef Ausar, it's going to happen. Don't forget, we'll post the recipe on our show website by early this afternoon, WTVR.com/VTM.
Man, Bill, Chef Ausar, he is so fantastic with those demonstrations, step by step with the process. It really helps you want to embrace some different recipes and kind of get going in the kitchen.
I am always amazed by that guy. He's not only is he a great chef, but he's a great teacher. He makes it look just like anybody else that does something extremely well. They make it look easy. We know it's not. But the little hack, one of the hacks he threw in there was to, if you're making an omelet, to kind of have some eggs that you didn't pour in when they do break or crack or don't do what you just, it's like filling in those gaps with the leftovers, and then you can't see, and it looks like perfect, even though it made a mistake on it.
So not only is it delicious, it's picture perfect. And they say we eat with our eyes. So there you have it. That's what makes it pretty magical.
Well, and then all the garnishes with, he put the crab meat on the top and the Parmesan
Then he sprinkled
cheese
the
and the
next thing.
sriracha and the hollandaise sauce. It's like, oh man, it looked good plain. And then he dressed it up a little bit more. It was fantastic.
And I want to really give Chef Ausar major kudos because, I think so many of us have worked so hard in so many different ways to try to rise to the occasion with the curveballs, right? Yeah. And Chef Ausar came to us years ago and, was not used to being in studio on live television, and he mastered that with flying colors, right? And then this last year had to go home, set up this setup in his business, and has really, really embraced it and has made it as fantastic as ever. So kudos, Chef Ausar.
Yeah.
We love you.
We absolutely love you, and we're going to love you a lot more when we get you back in here and can taste all of that.
Taste all the goodies.
Stick
It's
around.
true. It's
We're
true.
going to be right back and wipe some of the drool off here. Okay, we'll be back.